Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving an update on my yield farming pools over on Uniswap. And yeah, so the market has obviously been pumping, which is great. It's also a good and bad thing, which I'm going to explain in this video for yield farming. But before we get into it, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe down below if you want to, and turn the notifications on so you don't miss a future video. Make sure to go follow me over on Twitter. Links in the description. Check out the Discord servers, links in the description, and the email newsletter. And with that said, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Always do your research and be very careful about what you're investing in crypto and DeFi because it is very risky. And with that said, let's jump into it. So, market's been pumping. Bitcoin up 15% this week, Ethereum up 10% this week. This is the stuff we like to see. AVAX up 24% this week. So, with that said, why is this a good thing and bad thing for yield farming? So, as you know, when you're yield farming, let's go over to my pools in a second. I've added a couple new ones which I want to show you. But when it comes to these pools, let's say, for example, you're farming Ethereum and USDC, which is one of the pools. I have about 4.1K in this pool on base. The good thing about this is if the price of Ethereum is stable, it's pretty good because you're having 50% of your bag, hopefully, or depending on the price of Ethereum and how you set your pool up, which we'll go over in a second, depending on how the weight is just distributed, but you'll have some Ethereum and some USDC. If it's stable, good, because it means, only 25% of your bag can move. But when it's going up like this, if your price goes out of range, like for example, I had to rebalance my Ethereum pool today, which when you're using stable coins isn't the best because you're essentially taking that impermanent loss. So because Ethereum's gone up, my upper range was $2,200. And it's been above that for a few days. So I did have to go ahead and rebalance the pool this morning. I didn't lose anything because of fees. In fact, I'm still in a nice bit of profit. But because of fees, I did have to because of fees I'm in a profit. But I did have to rebalance this pool because it sold all of my Ethereum because it went above the range of supply and liquidity, and I had all of USDC. So because the price of Ethereum ran up, if I was just holding Ethereum in a wallet, I would have made more. But of course, this is why you don't use all of your bag to yield farm with, right? This is why you have a bull run bag and you leave that to do its thing and you hold it and you dollar cost average and just ride up the price. And then you use some for yield farming to generate fees. That is the strategy that I utilize. So I will show you now. If we go over to base, let me switch this over to the base mainnet. You can see I have 4,000. Let's give this a refresh here. $4,090, 4,080, 75. So I've only been in this for about half an hour. I did rebalance it. So you can see my range now is $2,020 to $2,040. If it goes above this, I will have all USDC. And if it goes below this, I will have all Ethereum. So I did have to rebalance this morning. Now, of course, if this does drop back below 2K, which of course it could, this is crypto, then I will lose $200, whatever the weight is, right? It's not because it's not a whole ETH, but you can see I'm still sort of protected when I have 58% of that in USDC. So this is making a decent amount of fees. I've only been in this for about an hour or so. So this is my biggest bag, 4K farming ETH and USDC. Again, I have a lot more ETH stored in a wallet. I have 3.5 in just MetaMask up here. Then in my bull run bag, in my actual ledger and hardware wallets, I have a decent chunk of Ethereum that I'm riding. So I'm not too concerned about this. This is my bag for generating fees, right? This is my stable long-term bag. I will probably add more to this. So it'll be nice to get this up to 10K and earn fees on 10K and ETH. That'd be nice. Or earn fees on 10K provided, sorry. So that's pretty much why it's a good and bad thing. Now, the good thing about this is, say, for example, you have two pairs, and that's why it's bad that the market's going up if you're in a pool that has one side as a token and then one side USDC. And by the way, the reason this isn't going up is I have to refresh to update this. But that's why it's bad to have one side of an actual altcoin and then one side a stable coin in an up market like this because you're not benefiting from the upside as much. Now, if, for example, I was farming with two altcoins, let's say Ethereum and Bitcoin, for example, I make money on both ways, right? Because both tokens are pumping. Therefore, even if it goes out of range and let's say it sells all of my ETH for Bitcoin, I'm still going to make money with my liquidity. My USD liquidity value is still going to go up because both of the tokens are going up, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. That might be a lot to get your head around. Maybe listen to it a couple of times. If you need any questions answered, either drop a comment or join the Discord or tweet me or something, and I'll answer them. But so let's see these bags here. So same thing for AVAX this morning. I'm farming like 1K worth of AVAX. And again, I've been in this for about an hour. I did have to rebalance this again because if you remember, I was farming with $18 as the minimum and 22 as the maximum. And you know, it's at 26. And now I've changed this to 22 and 30. I had like $30 worth of rewards that compounded back into this. And you can see I got 18.62 BNB here, AVAX, sorry, and $500 worth of USDC, which is 51%. So that's my AVAX pool. Again, been in this for about an hour or so. Now let's move over to another chain. Let's go on to Arbitrum, and I'll show you the bag that I added this morning. So my ETH to Ramsey's pool is paying nicely still making a good chunk. You can see I got $37 here to claim. Let's give this a refresh and see what this is saying now, because this is from earlier, because I haven't done a hard refresh in a while. So yeah, you can see $229.37 in unclaimed fees. My minimum price for Ramsey's per ETH is 41,750, max price 91.74, and 33% in ETH and 67% in Ramsey's. And you can see the market price is 71.2k Ram per ETH, so we are still nicely within this range. Now, this is a good thing about this pool, and it's my tiniest pool because this is more risky, but I only have $200 in this. But this is the good thing, what I was mentioning a second ago, where both of these are altcoins, which means I'll do well with this value here, this liquidity value. I will do well with this either way, because if both the tokens are going up, which they are, then I'm going to benefit on this either in the fees and in the liquidity amount, which is nice to see. Now, it is more risky going to altcoins. That's why I only put a tiny amount in here, because this is a pretty risky pair. Ramsey is a pretty risky token. It's only been around for a few months as an exchange, as a DEX on the Arbitrum network. But I also added this pool here today, $2,000 in Arbitrum and USDC. Now you're probably thinking, Jack, why did you go with one altcoin and one stablecoin? Well, the reason for that is because if we take a look at ARB, which is obviously the native Arbitrum token, you can see it hasn't really moved too much over the last 7 days. It hasn't really moved during this pump. It's gone to like $1 as a minimum, all the way up to 115. And if you take a look at the max chart, it's been pretty stable since launch, to be honest. So I have this range set at 95 cents per ARB, and then 121 per ARB. You can see it's 106. So that's why I've gone into that, because this token hasn't really moved much. Now, of course, I could benefit by going into more of a risky pair or a different altcoin. But yeah, ARB pretty stable. I want to generate some stable fees during this market, because I still don't think we're bull market yet, but I'm happy to see the gains, of course. But yeah, so that's why I went into this pair here. So let's take a look at how much they're making. So this pool, this website is Build Metrics. I'll leave a link down below. And I just gone ahead and put my liquidity in, what my ranges are, and we are going to show you sort of how much I'm making per day. So I've gone ahead and preset all the ranges. So again, you have to kind of preset your ranges, which you can take that from either Aperture or Uniswap directly and mess around with this. But my $1,000 in this AVAX pool is doing $5.49 per day. Now, again, this is an estimate. This is over the past 24 hours what it would have made. So this is an estimate. Keep that in mind. Okay, there's currently 350k TVL, and I'll make about $5 a day, or $5.50 on $1,000, which is about 16% a month. Again, on AVAX, which is nice. So actually, let's get a calculator up to add this all up. So 549 plus the next one is my ETH to USDC pool. Again, $4,100 in here, making $576 a day, which I know isn't as much as I could be making, but again, this is my long-term hold. Now, if I did move these ranges, let's say I put this down to like 2,300, you can see the difference in the prices that I'll make, but again, I'm happy with my 2,450. Make about 4% a month on that, or 50% a year, which isn't too bad. Okay, next one is ARB to USDC, which I went in today. $2,000 in there will make me $9.89 a day. So $9.89 per day. And then we have my ETH to Ramsey's pool, $229 in this one. Now, bear in mind, there's only 96k in TVL. So That's why it's super risky, and there's only $74 worth of fees. That's why it's pretty high, because there's not many people in this pool. But $229, I've put everything in here as it should be, as it is on the on Uniswap, and that is making about $6.15 per day, or 80% a month, which is crazy. Now again, these numbers are pretty skewed because the prices are pumped. When the market's more stable, of course, people won't be swapping as much, and then these numbers will probably go down. So there are, of course, risks. But times that per month, that's about $800 a month in fees that I should be generating from these pools, which is pretty cool. So guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. I just wanted to give you an update on how my pools are doing. Currently farming with let's call that 2.2k, 2.3k plus 4.1, 2.4k plus 6.5k ish, $6,500 farming, making about $1,000 a month, maybe just under that, which isn't too bad. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.